What's good with everybody, man? Yeah, I'm fried. We're doing a different type of video for today. I haven't done a type of like thoughts and opinions video or like a post commentary. Even this is my first time really trying to like record one. But I figured now is really, there's no better time to start doing this, or at least to like give it a shot. I'm thinking about titling this like fried talk for these types of videos. Let me know if you guys would like that. Down in the comments, I thought it was kind of funny. But as a lot of you guys may know, and for those who may not also know, we just had the Daima DLC 2 trailer drop. It had dropped yesterday morning, I want to say. Excuse me. It's about like almost 4 in the morning here, so my bad if I sound a little bit like raspy and shit like that. But it came out yesterday morning. I saw the patch notes before I actually saw the trailer for it. Shout out to my boy Mystery. I'm also gonna link his TikTok. I'll probably just have like a photo of it and probably have like it in the description. That's where I got all of the patch notes that I was originally reading. I'll probably have those up on the screen a little bit later on. But that's where I got all of my patch notes from, and then that's when I realized, oh, so we're getting, you know, like an actual Daima DLC too. Went on ahead, I watched the trailer for it. Underwhelming is really just like the best word I could use to describe. I'm ready for a new patch, I'm ready for a new update, some new characters to use. I want to start off more with the positives that I had noticed going through everything. Like I said, I'm excited for new characters. I really do like Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. I hope that he's going to have a good kit. Same thing with Goma. I'm really actually excited for Goma. I really like Goma in the series, I'm not going to lie. I watched Daima. The scene with him and Vegeta, where Vegeta, I think he hit him with like a final flash, and this is, if you need another reminder on his damn final flash and why nobody, and I mean nobody, is worried about that. He hit that man with the final flash, right? You know, cool. Looked like it like pierced the heavens. Goma hit him with one of the hardest lines I had ever seen. I can't remember like bar for bar what it is, but if you saw it, you saw it. When he was just behind him, that was peak. I replayed that shit like 5 times. So I'm very, very excited for Goma to be added into the game. I'm very excited for that. Super Saiyan 3 I said Goku. Vegeta as well. We're not even getting, actually now that I'm looking at this, we don't even get Super Saiyan 3 Goku if I'm not mistaken. Damn. I didn't even realize that. But we're going to be getting the mini Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. More than likely, but I'm going to start off with the positives, like I said. I'm definitely going to be using him, and we're getting also the adult one. I'm curious about if he's just going to be like a standalone character. Same thing with the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, that's going to be the adult one. I'm curious on if he's going to be like a standalone character, or if he's going to be like a transformation from like End. I've seen some people kind of like hinting, or not hinting, but kind of like speculating that. That'd be kind of interesting if they did do it like that. I am curious about that. We're also going to be getting Majin Du. That's going to be a funny character. I know that people are definitely going to be like trolling on him. He's going to be a funny one. And then we're also going to be getting Goma as well. Very, very good character select. Oh, I can't even say that. What am I saying? I was about to say that's a good character selection. What am I saying? Yeah. This is one of those character selections, you know? This is one of those character selections of all time for real. Underwhelming was really just like the best word I can even like use to really describe how I felt when I watched the trailer. I watched it twice, like once at like the time and then like once a little bit before I started recording this. Felt the exact same way. It's incredibly underwhelming. That's the biggest thing that I can say for it. Cool, we're getting a new map finally. I am excited for the new map. That's going to be cool. You know, we can run up something different finally for a little bit until we put back on Time Chamber, because, you know, the map probably won't be laggy. But we are going to be getting a new map. I am going to definitely be playing them. I'm excited for. I'm excited for some new stuff to be added into the game. Definitely excited for a new map. For me at least, we've really been waiting for another like update. It's been since what, like, we got Charlotte in like June, but I mean that's like a standalone character. Who's using Charlotte? Like, let's be so serious. No transformations either for him. If they at least could have given him some transformations here, okay, cool, that would have been a bit better, but nope. We're still just having base Charlotte that nobody runs. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing here with all these characters that are not being added. Tamagamis are my biggest disappointment easily from this. I was looking forward to using Tamagami 1. That was who I wanted to actually really use from this, if he would have been included with this. He was who I was really looking forward to using. So when I get through the entire trailer and then I realize, damn, they were pretty much just like stretching out these clips of like Goma and Super Saiyan 4 Goku fighting the entire time for like a minute. Now the trailer's over. We got Pansy though, you know. Yeah, we got Pansy though. That's cool. But overall though, especially with like the patch notes and everything like that, I also do want to go into the patch notes a bit, because I did notice some like interesting things. I do want to, like I said, go through more of like the positives. I know I've been probably I wasn't the most like positives already, but I do also want to go through some positives for this, because there are some changes in this that are positive. I am excited for the new characters. We're finally getting some new characters. Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Definitely going to be looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to being able to use Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. I want to compare him to Super Saiyan 4, because I just did a showcase on the Super Saiyan 4 one from GT. Very curious on how he's going to play. I want to see what like his input strings are, everything like that. Going into the patch notes a little bit, I'm probably going to like post like each page as I'm kind of like going through it. Shout out to my boy Mystery again. This is where I'm getting all of the patch notes from. So the first Demon World has been added. We already kind of went through that. I'm hoping it's not going to be a laggy map. Now for single battles, more specifically for characters whose stamina is restored when they transform, they know. Alright, so small cut to the morning actually. So I was actually able to find the official patch notes. I'll definitely be linking those down below. I was able to find the official patch notes. I actually have to re-record over this section. I already had this like set up to like post, and then I see the patch notes. So instead of actually the full key that I thought that they were no longer going to be getting when I originally reported this, so they actually no longer get health back from the transformation, and that to me is incredibly disappointing. I 100% thought that they were no longer going to be getting ki back. My biggest issue with transforming characters is just the fact that they get full ki off a transformation. The health to me is one thing. I can take an extra health bar off of somebody. That to me isn't the biggest issue. But whenever we get done with like a Vanish War, and then they can just instantly transform, they get full ki back, and then I'm essentially just forced to super counter. And it's not that I can't super counter. I can super counter fairly well, I think. But it's just whenever I'm forced to super counter just strictly because they have full ki that's off of the transformation after I just like got done beating the shit out of them, that is where it just gets hella annoying. Especially if they're like laggy or some shit like that. It's just like, bro. But a little bit disappointing to find that out this morning. It is what it is though. I am going to be linking the official patch notes down below. Wanted to at least like re-record back over that part, because I was incorrect about that, so that is my bad. I was originally incorrect about that, and that's why I want to do like a official video once the full like patch actually comes out. Everything else that should be within this should be fairly accurate. I'm gonna like go back through everything, like rewatch. Everything else should be fairly accurate from looking at the patch notes. Everything else did look like pretty much the same. It may have just been like worded a bit differently. Everything else though, it still should be relatively like accurate. Like I said, I'm still going to be linking the actual patch notes down below. I was able to find the official page finally. I don't know why I couldn't find it, of course, at the time of me actually recording this. Would have been very nice, but it is what it is. Definitely going to make sure to have that actually included within the description, the actual patch notes, just so you can see the actual like official from the devs themselves. What they're actually going to be tweaking, what they're actually going to be changing. Still going to be pretty much the same as what was posted on my boy's TikTok. Shout out again to my boy Mystery. Still going to be the same type of information, but just a little bit differently formatted, I guess, a little bit better. So my bad about that. Wanted to at least like re-record back over that portion. Shout out my boy Muse for this game. This is actually a really good set. Rewatching this, I remember watching this last night too. I'm just like, damn, these are some really good games. I was like struggling trying to figure out which game I wanted to use. Yeah, a little bit of the post commentary here, post recording. I have everything pretty much like ready to go for it. I just wanted to at least like clarify that part. But I'll let you guys enjoy the end of this clip. Or not the end of like this clip, but like the end of this fight. Then we're just like right back to like the regular talk for this video. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. This was definitely a different one to make. It was fun though. I haven't done any type of like post commentaries. If you guys do want more of this, definitely let me know. Damn, that was a good ass catch. Damn, Muse, why you do me like that, bro? That was a good ass catch right there. Damn. GG's. Now, they also added an option to control how the edges of the battle area are displayed. I thought that this was just comedy. When I saw this one, I'm just like, are we actually so serious, doesn't it? It's cool, you know, you can tell whenever you're coming up on the edge of the map, the barrier. That's cool. I understand the reasoning for it. I just think that it's so funny that, like, if I'm stuck on, like, the World Tournament map, for example, with the crowd, because, you know, some little, like, shitty MUI, they just want to toss on World Tournament map. They know what they're doing, by the way. If you play a MUI on either World Tournament map or on the city map, that's an intentional pick to make the game laggy. Those maps are well known to be laggy maps, and tossing on those specific characters, I don't know what it is with it. Well, actually, I know what it is. The game has no servers. I know what the issue is. The game has no servers, and a lot of these people play on just like welfare Wi-Fi, so like it's really bad out here. If you've seen any of my DP videos, especially like episode 2 from that, it's insane how bad the connection is in this game, especially if somebody's on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi to me, it's not the worst thing in the world. I've played people on Wi-Fi, and I know that they're on Wi-Fi, and I've had some amazing connection with them. Played people on the LAN cable before, and I've had some shit connection with them too. So it can really go either way. It's really dependent on the game, honestly. This game has no servers, and this whole connection debate is really, really stupid to me. This game has no servers, and we all know this. But that's a topic for a different time. We can now see whenever we're coming up on the edges. So, I guess cool, if I'm stuck in the corner of the World Tournament map, I can see the corner better whenever I'm just like flying towards it. And then once I get to that corner, I'm stuck there. I can't move because I'm still going to be getting hit in the same corner. That's not changing, but I can see it a bit better though. So we also have a couple of changes for the game modes also. For the episode battle, with due to an adjustment with the battle system, the difficulty of some stages has been adjusted. For me, at least, I don't know. Well, that's not really like I don't care. I already 100%ed the game. Like I've been done this literally since like a month into the game. So yeah, I played this game. I'm probably gonna include like a screenshot of like my hours on the game and like the little like 100% thing. I'm probably gonna include that in there too. I really played this game. I've played this game a lot, and I really enjoy this game. I really, really enjoy this game. I genuinely do. The entire reason I even got a PS5 is literally because of Sparking Zero. Like, no bullshit. I did not have a PS5 until October of 2024. Literally last year, I did not have a PS5. Until this game came out. And it's not even that I couldn't get one. It's just that I didn't want to. I had no reason to. Until this game came out, I'm just like, oh, they're finally remaking this. They're finally giving the PS5 version one. I'm on that. I'm on that. I spent a cool like 700 that day on like the P5, 2K. I got 2K that same day. Yeah. If you know about 2K25, yeah, that was a bad one. But I got Sparking Zero though. That was my saving grace. I got Sparking Zero and I love the game. Cheese and all. I'm a hitman, so I'm not doing a lot of that like cheesy shit. I know how to box. I think I got some pretty decent hands. If you've seen any of my videos, I think I got some pretty decent hands. So I could definitely hang. But cheesing all through this game, I learned how to counter it and how to like beat the sleeves off of people who were cheesing. I'll probably have like a separate video of just like some like clips from that too. Of just like really, really early on in the game of people, how they would just like cheese with like Giants, Bully, Kefla, Beerus, and people like that. That'll probably be for like a separate video whenever I have that. And people used to cheese like a motherfucker in this. I'm glad a lot of this shit got patched out. I don't know why I was going into all that, honestly, but they adjusted the difficulty of some stages. They added in some 2D cutscenes, and then some text has also been added to the episode battles. Now for rank match, regardless of the difference in rank points, you will now be able to earn a minimum of 50 points. Finally. We're a year into the game, and we are now finally gaining points off of every single win. This has been something that has quite literally been asked for since like 2 months in. So probably since about like 2 to 3 months in. Once people really started like getting higher up on the leaderboards in it, and you found out like, oh, you don't get points for fighting anybody in like S ranks if you're above a certain point. I don't remember the last time I've even gotten points for fighting an S rank. I don't at this point. I'm at a cool, probably like at the time of me recording this, probably like 41k points if I had to guess. I'm gonna make a push for top 100. I'm gonna get into why a little bit later on. It's also in the patch notes as well. I do want to make a push for top 100. I've been up there before. I use a lot of different characters, and then honestly, like when I showcased out Oob, that dropped me pretty heavily in points. That dropped me straight out of top 100. I do want to make a push for it. I really do. But we're finally going to be earning a minimum of 50 points for every game. I'm excited for that. Now I can really like rematch people, and it's not just like a waste of time. That's going to be really nice. And the biggest thing, and this is my reason for going for top 100, when the season ends, players ranked 1st through 100th will be awarded a text title indicating their ranking. Now that to me is pretty fucking cool. Why ever this couldn't have been implemented like before, Because it's just like, well, there was just no point in grinding the leaderboards before. You're literally getting the exact same rewards as everybody else. This actually gives a reason for us to actually grind. I'm actually gonna try to grind out for top 100 now. I'm pretty close. If I had to take a guess, I think that like top 100 is around like 45k, 46 for PS5 right now. I'm at 41, but I've been using a lot of like different characters. I jumped back up to about like 41, 42k. I should be able to get it. Probably gonna be bringing out Jiren, so if y'all bump into me and I'm on Jiren, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm grinding points. But I am looking forward to trying to grind for that. It gives an incentive. It gives a reason to actually grind for top 100. That's all we've been asking for. That's what we've been asking for the longest. An actual incentive. Now we also have some changes to the actual like the gameplay and stuff like that. For short dashes, you cannot perform a short dash again even immediately after starting a movement using a short dash. Once only though, like it says. I want to see how this actually plays out and like in game. Because I use a lot of short dashes whenever I'm kind of like moving. I want to see if you're talking about kind of like the charged ones whenever you're like, I do it a lot at like the beginning of my games. They're all kind of like dash like to like the left and then up, or like the right and then up. I don't know if they're kind of like referring to that or just like the standard just like X dashes on PlayStation. If it's just those, I use like the shit out of those. So I'm excited for that. I can get some crazy ass movement in. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. There's also, you can fall a bit easier more. So you can, now the speed is the biggest thing with this. You can essentially rise and fall, like ascend and descend a bit faster now than you could before. And if you were like within a certain range of somebody, it was incredibly slow. Like unless you like double tap so that you can kind of like dragon burst up or down, you're more than likely just gonna get hit. I'm curious on how fast it's actually gonna be now. I'm hoping it's actually gonna be good. Now also over to the ultimate blast in general, reduce the damage reduction when hitting during a combo. So a bit less damage reduction, which I think is actually a little bit needed, because some of these ults, I understand like the whole purpose of damage reduction, but some of them were literally doing like 8k damage from like Super Saiyan 4 like Gogeta, and it's like, come on. I understand damage scaling and like what you don't want to happen, but like that should never be happening. That's kind of crazy. So I am actually kind of glad about that. Key bullet deflection. It is now possible to quickly perform a smash melee attack while deflecting a blast. That to me is a big one, because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just sit up there and like they'll get like sparking mode or whatever, and then they'll just shoot key blast at you the entire time. Just sit there and spam it at you. And now pre-patch like 1, that shit was terrible. It was insane how people played just with key blast. They would just literally sit there, key blast you the entire time. And you couldn't really like move and like deflect them either. That was the biggest issue with it. You couldn't move and deflect any of them. So you just pretty much had to sit there and take it. You just literally had to sit there and get key blasted the entire time. That shit was terrible. Unless you had like an explosive wave or something like that, that shit was just absolutely terrible. But I do like that you're able to do the smash charge attack out a bit now, the smash melee attack. That'll definitely be a good one, because now you can catch people just like straight out of it with like the hit. Much better. So for super counters, this is a big one. So this is a huge nerf to androids more specifically. Ki will no longer automatically recover during super counters. Biggest advantage that androids would have. They didn't have the best defense, but the biggest thing with them is that they would always have key advantage over you, and that's strictly because of the super counter wars. Because of how much they would regenerate, because they actually go up to full key, you're forced to pretty much super counter it the entire time. And I know that there are some people out there who are like very good at super countering. I think that I'm pretty solid myself, but against an android, I promise you that shit is different. It's different when you're forced to only super counter, because if you don't super counter, they're gonna vanish, be up key, and then you're just gonna be stuck in a combo. The absolute most annoying thing to have to deal with when it comes to fighting androids, at least. It could be worse. They don't do the most damage, but a good android player is really gonna hurt. When you successfully perform a counter attack, you can now charge up a follow-up move by holding down the counter button. Now I'm curious on what this one actually is, and I want to see like what type of mechanic it actually is going to be. I'm very curious on what type of counter attack they're talking about. For Sonic Sways, they fixed an issue where some characters could guard against follow-up attacks after a Sonic Sway. Now I don't know if they're referring to whenever, because I've been doing this since literally like day 1 of the game. whenever somebody does a Sonic Sway, like once they hit you, if you immediately press the block button, you're able to block that attack like immediately afterwards. I don't know if that's what they're talking about, and I'm really hoping that it's not, because that was most definitely something that I always did that. And I didn't think that there was any type of like exploit, because anybody can do that. This is not like a character specific thing. Quite literally anybody can do that. So I'm hoping that's not what they mean. Now this is also a pretty, if you know about the revenge counter exploit, they're fixing an issue where the time allowed to use for the revenge counters, where it was shortened in some cases. Now I want to see how it actually is gonna like play out in the actual patch, but that's pretty much the revenge counter exploit. If you press revenge counter essentially like the moment you hear the noise and before the actual hit connects, you'll get a much faster animation compared to if you just like don't press anything. I might even have like a separate clip of it, honestly, just to kind of like show the difference, because it's such like a noticeable difference. If you do like the slower revenge counter compared to the faster one, it's a noticeable difference. And it should not be like this. They should all be the exact same all the way through. So hey, we'll see how it plays out. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. For guard break, they're fixing an issue where after a guard break, a smash attack in the same direction would not allow the guard to be broken. I ran into this issue actually a good bit. I do tend to kind of like do the same like smash attack. I believe it's like upwards technically. I'm definitely very guilty of doing that. So hey, that's good for me. I'm looking forward to that one. Now for numb type blast, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about like the stun key blast. It increased the energy consumption, and revenge counter cannot be used when hit from the front. I'm assuming that they mean like with those specific key blasts. When hitting twice during a combo, the enemy will be blown away instead of being paralyzed. I'm fairly certain this is talking about stun key blast. This was kind of like an iffy part for me from reading this. I couldn't fully understand it, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about like the stun key blast. For tornado slashes, they fixed an issue where it was possible to block during a tornado slash, excuse me. Damn, I can't speak English apparently. I didn't know that you could even do that, honestly. So that's actually a pretty good adjustment. I did not even know that that was a thing. Only skill from looking actually at this is only for dispo skill for the super highest speed mode, that there's going to be an icon now displayed during the effect, and then while it's active, the energy consumption of short dashes is reduced. We'll see if there's more upon like actual release. I'm sure that there will be. Also now for unblockable charge type blasts, they cannot be avoided using an automatic evasion like an after image. So if you know, you would just get hit by those before. Whis, the battle of Prelude that they've already nerfed into the ground, that little like spin attack that he does or whatever it is, where he's like conducting an orchestra. They nerfed it even more, making it less likely to hit opponents directly above or below. I don't know who's using it in that type of situation. Maybe that, I don't know who's using that. In that situation, if you can't directly hit your opponent, I don't know why we're using that, but hey, they did nerf it again. They fixed an issue with the ring outs, where stepping out of the ring would not result in a ring out. That's funny, I didn't even know that was in the game. That's hilarious. I don't know who's really playing with ring outs unless you're farming like Dragon Balls in like the World Tournament stage. I don't know who's really playing with ring out, or maybe like for fun with like friends. I could see that. But they did fix that, and they also fixed an issue where the on-screen UI would sometimes not be displayed. And this is all the patch notes that I at least have for right now that are scheduled to be coming. Looks like it should be on the 24th with everything being released. Final thoughts on everything. Overall, like I'm excited that we're getting new content. I am. We're finally getting the Daima characters, Daima Super Saiyan 4. Finally getting Goma. For me, it's just an insane disappointment that we're seriously not getting the Tamigamis. We're only getting this one map, and I'm glad that we're getting a new map. I am. We're finally getting us a new map. That's going to be very, very nice. Finally being able to play something outside of the time chamber. Cool. We'll play it for about a week, or until we see that it's lagging. Then we just drop the map. We'll see. It is nice to actually have something different. Overall, I mean, I think that this is probably like the worst drop that we've had so far, honestly. Compared to all of the other ones, I mean, this is like the least amount of like characters that we've had. We're really only getting like 3, really. So I'm sure that the Super Saiyan 4 Diamond Goku is literally just going to be like an extra transformation on the Super Saiyan Daimaku. I'm fairly certain he's just going to be like an extra transformation for that one, and then the Super Saiyan 4 is going to be like a standalone character. So that's not really like a new character, like quote unquote. It's not even like his own like standalone. It's just a new form. Goma, that's cool. Do is probably going to be pretty cool. I think I'm hoping he might be a little bit of a sleeper pick. We'll see how much DP he is. Maybe he'll be viable on DP. Who knows? Maybe he'll be viable there. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Yeah, you know, they gave him Final Flash, so. If you see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta launch an ult, just know you are safe. You have nothing to worry about. If you see the Final Flash coming at you, you can rest easy knowing, yeah, I'm gonna live this. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit of something different. I don't know how long exactly this is. I think I need like one more clip just to get everything just about like time length wise right. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys would want more types of videos like this, just kind of like my like thoughts, opinions on like the patch. I'm gonna do another one when the patch actually releases in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna do like an updated one, actually like playing on like the patch, the characters and things like that, seeing how it is. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like, comment if you did. I do want to know you guys' thoughts also on the trailer, just on the patch as it is. I don't know if there's any like official patch notes or anything like that. If anybody does have anything, feel free to link it also in the comments below. I might not know. This is just, like I said, what I'm pulling from my boy's TikTok. I'm trusting what he's going with and what he's posting on there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, but I'll catch you in the next one.